Hello. It's best in the studio. Cut a little too early. All right, you're gonna see that some things are changed up a little bit in the stream. Gonna give it a background. Try making it a little easier to see things. I might have to move a couple things around. I realized right now. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's fine. Let's see. Actually, let's just clean that up a little bit. Let's see if we can do that. All right. There you go. It's better. Is it perfect? No. But it's for sure better. Okay. So, where we're at today, things are looking pretty decent. We've got a pretty good way to kind of navigate tiles, even in tall grass and stuff, and behind buildings and things, you still kind of tell what's going on, which is honestly really helpful. Game's pretty playable. There are a couple bugs that I'm gonna try to work. Not sure if we'll do bugs today more or if we'll do some other things. But the main goal, I think, is to start implementing some spells and abilities. I am going to start trying with, there's this one bug I kind of want to work, and it's essentially the enemy decides to run on top of each other. So I do want to work that one. Other than that, main goal today is going to be start working on ability spells, start kind of fleshing that out a little bit. And at the end, I should have time. It's gonna be a pretty short stream, I guess, but I should have time to do some music, so that'll be the plan. I will have to set some stuff up in OBS because I definitely have OBS set up exclusively for Godot now. I didn't really think that one through. We'll see what happens though. And then a couple things I want whenever I'm doing, like when I go down into this mode, right? I want to essentially turn off the select, which I think will be helpful. I think that'll be pretty easy. But we'll, like when I go here, just turn off select because I don't really need to see it. We'll see though. So I'll kind of play with that a little bit too. There'll be a couple things. Today might be a little more cleanup, but I should be starting spells and abilities pretty soon. Let me start with that. That's gonna be a quick, easy one to do right off the bat. So let's go ahead and get to that. Okay. So, this is going to essentially be within this script, I think. This is where I'm setting them. So you can see here, oh, this will be interesting. Okay, so I have a variable here called highlight. That tells me where my, when that overlay shows up on my blocks. Struggling today. But essentially, what I think I can do here, also interesting here, I guess. So when I have an active player, what I should do is this, which will help a little bit. Then what I need to do is when I switch over to attacking, right after attack, right after my attack starts, which I think would be coming out of confirm attack. Let's see. I don't think I have anything in attacking, do I? I do. Do I use attacking? I don't believe so. I don't think I actually ever use the estate attacking. I think I use attack select. And let's see. Let's go to my camera actually. And I should be able to tell what I use and where. All right, so it's gonna be down here. And I'm going to real quick. Let's see. So come down here and essentially on attacking, this is it right here. So let's see. I don't think I am right now sending a signal. Hey, Nasty. Hey, in VR, how are you doing? Good to see ya. We are just working out some visual choices in our game real quick here. I think I needed a new signal, and essentially once I get in here, you know what? I can use on attacking. So I can use this same signal to essentially send that to the world and turn that off. So let's do that. And essentially, because I am using the attacking state, which makes this really, really easy. So then over here in my nodes, I have attacking here. I can just connect that to my world. Oh, interesting. I'm sharing windows, right? And you cannot see this window. I may have to mess with that later, but for now, actually, let me go ahead and add it because that's not fun. Streamlabs is getting a little bit antsy. Might turn that down here in a second, but I gotcha. Yeah, answering emails, no fun at all. Let's see. Okay, so then I'm gonna add real quick. I'm just gonna add this so you guys can see what's going on here. Just an extra window, and I'm just gonna kind of throw it right here. So it looks like my screen. I'm not sharing my display anymore, which kind of changes some things up. I'm gonna real quick turn down this bot and tell this bot to calm down just a little bit. Let's see where this is at. All right. I think. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. There you go. It's fixed. Oh, cool. That's exciting. Starting a company. What kind of company are you starting? I'm sure that's a mess of email and a mess of a lot of things, but hey, that sounds like it's probably gonna be worth it. Well, very cool. I have not ever started a company before, so. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, game server hosting. Very nice. That's awesome. So the plan is, are you trying to aim more towards like indie devs who are creating games and kind of allowing a hosting their games for multiplayer? Great idea. That's exciting. Don't know if I got it right, but all right, let's see. All right, so now I have on attacking. This should be pretty easy. Essentially, I would just say highlight equals false, and then on attack complete. I would do. Oh, interesting. That broke. We'll fix that later. I'll mess with that some other stream. You just won't be able to see when I add signals, and that's okay. Normal consumer servers. Oh, nice. I gotcha. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm sure that's exciting right after you get past all the emails. Of course, all of the emails, I'm sure, is not much fun. But yeah, very cool. I'm sure it takes a lot to set up a business. You know, thinking through everything is, I'm sure, challenging, but I'm excited for you. All right, so let me see. I guess I can check this here now. Basically, when I attack here, those squares should disappear, and they don't. Okay, so let me see something real quick. State. I do go into attacking. When I go into attacking, let me go look at this script real quick. When I go into attacking, let's see. Is it? You know, that's okay for now. TOS, I'll figure that out. I didn't realize that though. So that is good to know. Huh. I'm not too worried about my size right now, but I will look into that and see if that's a problem. Hey, Journey. How's it going? I probably could just turn Restream Bot off. That probably is the safe thing to do. I don't think it really matters too much or helps anybody out. Let's see that. We'll turn off right there. That should be all I have to do. I think that's a pretty easy button. Thanks for the heads up. Ah, yeah, gotcha. I'm sure that has its own stream of pain, but hey, Journey, good to see you. We are today, I think I'm gonna resolve a couple of visual things first, then we're gonna get into doing some spells and abilities and things. So this here, interesting. So I think I'm gonna just add a couple prints. Trigger 1, or that's a 1. And I'm just gonna kind of print a trigger 2 here on, not that one, this one. That should be my triggers. That should be pretty clear. And I should be able to see it. We'll find out here in a second. That should have worked. Yeah. Oh, really? Not even on. Interesting. Well, I think that's okay. I think the overlay is okay for now. I will look into it to see if it's actually a problem. I'm an affiliate, not a partner. I'm sure it's, you know, I'm sure they don't care, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the heads up. So yeah, I'm not getting rid of that, which is interesting. But I gotcha. Makes sense, right? Because they were against like multi-streaming for a long time. They just recently. Yeah, if you don't mind, that's helpful. Appreciate that. If you just want to like either drop it there or even because you might get timed out from a link. Yeah, and until you have like an established thing, you'll get timed out from a link. If you want to just drop it, send it in there, that'd be super helpful. If not, no big deal. Completely understand. I'll research it after this as well, because it's gonna get mad at you for the link. But I can check that out. I actually might be able to see yours from the Twitch side feed right here. Invite invalid. Oh my goodness, everything's falling apart. Let me see if I can show. Yeah, on my side, like your link doesn't even show up. Let me pull up the mod. Go into mod mode real quick. Maybe I can just see it from there. So got it. Noted. I need to go fix my thing here. I am not a professional streamer, obviously. But that's okay. Oh, nice. Sweet. That's genius. Appreciate it. Problem solved. All right, got it. I'll check it out after this stream. Go from there. Cool. Got it. Noted. All right. Very good. Thanks for keeping me from getting banned. Oh, that makes sense, Journey. Yeah. That does make sense. I think I'm probably okay for today. What I'll probably do is go check it out now that I'm aware of it. I think it's probably a pain to go update to be Twitch only, but I'll go do that. Actually, it might not be that bad. Let's see. I think all I have to do is go to settings here. Let's see. And do this. And then all I have to do is go to, this is going to reset. I have to go to here, properties, and there you go. That's it. Oh, gotcha. Glad to know they'd messaged me first. I'm happy to stay within TOS. It was never an intentional thing, but yeah, thanks for the heads up. All right. So yeah, kind of weird here. I did trigger 1 and trigger 2, so it must. You get a day. Yeah. That makes sense. And I'm not too worried, but might as well. I think it was 1 button, so I was fine pressing it. Let's see. Yeah, I wish that. See, it'd be nice though, because it's nice that the community can navigate. Yeah, I can still see a journey. I can still see everything, right? I just can't broadcast it. Apparently, that's okay. So I'll have to. That's all right. Maybe I'll go back and forth. Yeah, I don't know why Streamlabs is getting really aggressive, huh? I can see your messages still, but I actually turned off because I have other auto mods. So I actually had turned off part of the mods here. Maybe what I'll do is continue to turn it off. I'm not sure why. I'll be honest. I haven't set up anything as far as like actually doing this. Here we go. Here's what we're gonna do. I've got other auto mods. We're gonna leave that one off, and then we'll deal with the repercussions later. But anyway, okay. So I need to look at right here. I'm not sending this signal to world for some reason. This definitely says I am, but if I go down to the code here, let's see what's going on here. So if I go there, I do turn highlight on attack complete, and I turn highlight off while I'm attacking, which should. Okay, I think I understand what's going on. So let's see. I have here if highlight. I probably need to clear cells. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so this is where it's highlighting the cells. So this top one is the one with the kind of lights around it. And then here's the select cell. So it is still doing it. I'm curious. Let's see. So if highlight, do this. Otherwise, ignore it. So here I do turn highlight to false, and so it shouldn't ever go in here. But obviously it is. Let me do this and just set up another debug statement. That way I can tell when I actually made it here, because when I do my attack, it shouldn't. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. So it's highlighting. We'll wait here. Attack. And let's see. Well, I'm still. So it should. The only problem is I made this a lot. So yes, it's still making it. So highlight is not turning off. So let me check here. And I'll print trigger 3. Or I guess trigger 1 match, right? Just to show that I made it to the other side. Oops. Show I made it to the other side. And then trigger 2 match here. Show I made it to this side. Let me turn off this because that is not a useful debug statement. Yeah, I agree. And it's not a big deal. Like, to me, if someone pops up, right? I mean, I've got tools on the Twitch section, right, to quickly protect stuff. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I agree. I think auto mods in general can be, they're not the best, but it's fine. All right, let's see. Look at that. Now you can type your long message and they don't care. Okay, so let's see. So it made it to trigger 1. It never made it to trigger 1 match, which is interesting. It did get to trigger 2 match, so it did turn it back on. Yeah, 100% agree with you. It's not the best. So I never got to trigger 1 match, which means this attacking right here. Let's go to that method. So this never triggered, which is interesting. So let's look at this attacking script real quick. It did go here, attacking.emit. So the signal was emitted, but for some reason never made it to world. Let's see. That's very interesting. Let's go to method here. So why would that be? So I have a function here. I send a signal. Attack complete obviously is getting through, but attacking is not. And I'm sending the active player. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so here's what's going on here. Let me go back to that. Godot's very picky about the inputs to these. So whenever let me go here. When I go here, right, and I have like attacking, if I don't have active player here, right, Godot will not pass along the signal. You don't even get an error from it. I don't think, right? We can check here and make sure. So, yeah, I guess I do. I did get an error. I guess I ignored it. But still, still very picky and hard to kind of point out. Got to keep an eye on my debug here. So yeah, let's check this out. Okay, so ultimately then, let's do the attack here. So they should disappear this time. Much better. That looks 1,000 times better. Okay, so that was one thing I wanted to solve this first on this stream. That looks great. Okay. I think I'm still highlighting the enemies initially, which I thought I turned off. I think that's okay. I can let that kind of sit, 'cause that's not too big of a deal. It's at least some visual indication of who's moving for a second. I think it's just whenever when it switches to one of your allies, it highlights for a second as it's transferring. Yeah, it's funny. I am not a code developer, right? And everything kind of works. I'll say, yeah, my code is probably not like, if someone looked at my code, it would probably drive them crazy. At least like my start. I have, I'll say, tried as I've gotten a little bit better. I've been doing this for a couple of months now. As I've gotten a little bit better, I have really tried to make my code just a little bit cleaner, a little more classical, right? Trying to use Godot features like signals and things. When I was first doing it, I had like a ton of flags, right? And I would say, hey, like, go set a flag that would do this and XYZ would happen. And I had this spaghetti of a code. Now I'm really trying to treat stuff like services. You crashed your PC like 3 times. I actually haven't crashed my PC at all. But yeah, I get it. Was that with Godot 4 or were you using the 3? Because I do think now that Godot is just a lot more mainstream, I think they're making it a lot better. So I never did use 3, but 4 works pretty well. It's been pretty easy to develop in. Granted, I've never tried Unity. I've never tried Unreal Engine. I've only ever done Godot. Okay. Gotcha. I see. Yeah, I'm sure that's annoying. Yeah. I do not have a super powerful GPU or super powerful CPU. So I don't have the problem. And there's a couple glitches you can see here. So one is that I can keep acting without waiting on animations to finish, which is fine. I think the big thing there is I want gameplay to be quick, right? I don't want people to be waiting around to make actions. So what I probably need to do is have it like just cut the animation off, and that would probably be helpful. I also think I probably need to put the enemies in front of this thing too. You can see I'm going through them, right? And they're kind of becoming the color of the select tile. I don't think I want that, so let me mark that on my my Trello board just as a glitch. I won't fix it today, but I'll add it to my list here to make depth cut on enemies in front of selector. I like the selector being like in front of buildings and stuff, but but I think if I turn off the depth engine on the bad guys, I think that'll do it. Similar to what you see where he's kind of sitting on that, even though it's in front of the buildings. It is useful to have it still populate in front of the buildings, though. Oh, yeah, I gotcha. You know, it's... I think going into, like, developing a game, you've got to expect feedback. You've got to know, hey, if I don't incorporate every AAA feature, like, you know, on-off shadows or motion blur, that kind of thing, you've got to expect that feedback, right? I think this would be... If I couldn't take feedback, right, I'm very much okay with feedback. But if I couldn't take feedback, this would be so hard. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, things like that. That I haven't implemented any of that stuff yet, right? Well, one, I don't have motion blur, but I haven't implemented any of that yet. But I think in doing so, right, when I get to like a certain point where I'm kind of getting closer to like releasing a demo, I will probably go through a full list and think, okay, on a AAA game, what settings do you need to be able to control, right? But yeah, not quite there yet. All right, let's see. So that looks pretty decent. I did capture a few bugs. One is make depth cuts on enemies in front of them. I still have one where the enemies will walk onto the same square from each other. I'm going to probably ignore those for now. And I think I'm going to start setting up here my... I'm going to start setting up my abilities and spells. So this will be kind of interesting. What I'm kind of thinking for abilities and spells is, I'll start with spells, I think. I'm kind of thinking it'll be more on the like elemental side. And I want there to be a lot of options, but I don't want it to be too complicated. So I'm thinking you'd like pick an element. Here, I'll kind of walk through this. In the game, one of the most annoying things is that DLSS or FSRs turn on by default. Yeah, I gotcha. I'll have to go mess with that. I have not messed with hardly any of the graphic settings. I mess with shadows because I have a lot of objects here with the grass, right? I didn't want the shadows rendering the wrong way on the grass. So I've messed with shadows a little bit, but that's about all I've changed. And so I have this priority list here, right? And so what I want to be able to do is essentially when you like come down to ability, which does nothing right now, and you pick like a spell, like say you pick fire, I want to be able to kind of walk through here and say, okay, how long do you want to charge up your fire? And so one of the concepts of my game is that magic is going to kind of enter the world at some point, and it's really close to the beginning, probably right off the bat. But there's not going to be magic prior, so everyone's going to be kind of learning magic together. So there's going to be some kind of wild magic aspect where you say like, hey, I want to cast the spell, or maybe at certain random points you might accidentally cast the spell, and then when that happens, your character would unlock the ability to go learn using like experience to go learn a spell. And I think going further down this list where you say, hey, I'm gonna charge up for like 5 turns or whatever, or so I guess when you do that, you either have more of a chance to learn a spell or you cast a bigger spell. And I think that's going to be kind of how I'm planning on doing this. I'm also going to allow, I think, if you have like 2 characters casting the same or different spells and you cast them on the same initiative, they might combine or something. So that could be a fun mechanic. That's kind of what I'm looking into. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with DLSS. I'll have to look into it. What is DLSS? So just for awareness, the game's deep learning super sampling. Oh, interesting. Wow. Okay. Thanks, Journey. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a pretty cool mechanic. I think it'll offer like a lot of customizability, right? And it should make it simpler. The thing I was worried about, right? Like near the end game, I don't want you to like go into the spell menu and see like 100 spells you have to click from, but I do want a lot of options. So I've been thinking through like, how do I get you a lot of options, but at the same time not overwhelm you with choices, right? And that's kind of what I was thinking, is keep it pretty simple. You pick an element, you place where you want it in the priority list, and then after a certain point, you would cast it, depending on what you selected there. But yeah, interesting. So AI upscaling, that's probably pretty new. I guess it makes sense as it gets faster, but I'm sure it takes a toll on your CPU. So I imagine that's all. Well, I guess it's GPU. Probably doing the upscaling, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have cutscenes and dialogue. So I do think, I don't know what those look like yet. Obviously, I've never made a cutscene before, but I do think I'll have cutscenes and dialogue. So yeah, it should be pretty cool. And I broke the game here because I navigated the party list. All I have to do is this, I guess, probably. All right. Upscales the renders. Interesting. Yeah, I gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, wild. And so by default, that's on in Godot. That's really interesting. Is FSR like the AMD equivalent? Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense. Using cutting edge technology to upscale. Oh, gotcha. I thought you were saying that by default Godot has that on. Yeah, I haven't really messed a lot with the settings. But yeah, I'm really interested, Journey, in how I'm going to do cutscenes. I think I will. I don't think I'm going to go make a bunch of CGI, right? I'm going to do them in the game render. So I'm probably going to keep them pretty simple. I will probably have text. Yeah, ask your coding question, of course. Go for it. Got it. That makes sense. Yeah, a lot of people using Unreal probably have a strong focus on graphics, I imagine. Cool. I'll have to check that out, that cutscene tutorial out, Journey. I don't think I'm quite ready for a cutscene. I want to have like a vertical loop first on kind of what this looks like, and then do cutscenes. All right. Meanwhile, I do need to start adding some scenes here. I think the next thing I'm going to do is start with abilities. So let me go down to my menu here. Let's see. So I need this. I also need to make this look good. My menus, honestly, like my UI looks absolutely terrible because it's just placeholder stuff. So I need to add a button here. Let's go ahead and add a button. And that button is going to be, man, the only thing is I wanted to go windowed because I'm running my GPU now for streaming. But the problem is Godot generates a lot of windows, so you kind of miss out on a couple things. I'll fix that before next time. So you have the options here. Let's see. So I need a button. Let's see. Now to use the look at function, trying to set up my controller, make sure the controller faced right or left when moving right or left. I'm not familiar with the look at function, but I do have something similar. So let me show you kind of what I did here. Let me finish adding my button first. This is going to be magic, I guess. Actually, you know what? I don't have any abilities yet. Let's keep this super simple. And I'm just going to make this magic. And then I will, I'll go from there. Let's see. I do need abilities, but I'm sure. And I think I'm going to draw like a clear line between like what's magic and what's like possible for a person to do. Right, so control. So let me go to my camera control real quick. So I had to do something similar because like obviously in game, when you're rotating, right? The essentially what is up, right? When you're controlling it with your controller changes. Like, so if I'm pressing up here. Oh, I broke it. I broke my game. Attempt to call set pressed. Interesting. Let's undo some stuff here. That's not a good sign when things break so easy. I think it's from creating a new button. It's really unfortunate. You know what? It's because I changed the name of ability. Let's leave it called ability for a second. It's just because I changed that without changing the code. So yeah, so essentially, when I'm pressing like up, right, in my game here, right, if I go to like move, I'm pressing up. Up is that way, and then when the screen rotates, it changes, right? Because you want it to be intuitive, right? And so I think that's the same problem you're talking about, right? You just want to make you move like here. So I'll show you how I implemented that. Mine is like 90-degree directions because I'm just changing 90 degrees. But you could set something up very similarly, right? You just would multiply it by your direction instead of what I'm doing here. So let me show you real quick, just while we're talking about it. So yeah, so essentially I'm generating a delta based on rotation position, like up delta, down delta, right delta. I think what you would do is, let's see, let me go down here, this transform basis right here. Sorry, I've got a part 3D printing, and my printer is making some noises. I'm not sure. They might have finished. Sorry about that. I was making sure I didn't have to like catch it. If it was going to catch fire or something. Anyway, so yeah, I think you would just do something like this, right? You take your transform basis of whatever this is like where my camera's coming from, and you'd multiply that by your input. And what that would do, which like I am doing that right now on my joystick, but I don't think I have really joysticks coded very much. So it might work. But essentially what that should do is based on your rotation of whatever object you call out there, it should automatically translate. So if I go to move here, yeah, I don't have my joystick coded in anymore. I did it one time. But check that out. Yeah, so you want the transform basis and you're gonna multiply that. It's just what you're taking is like if I go to my spring arm here and we look at the transform, you're taking this right here and you're multiplying it, or matrix mathing, right, with your vector for your controller. So check that out. Probably Google like transform.basis, and I think that'll give you kind of what you're looking for. All right. Let's see. So yeah, let me incorporate this. So I'm gonna go ahead and call this magic. I do have to update everywhere I call out ability, which is probably, yeah, no problem. Probably just here. Let's see. So this is now magic. I think that's all I have to do. I doubt I call it out anywhere else. Let's check. I think we're good. This is another thing, like in my original code, it was, I had things controlling like menus all over the place, right? And learned pretty quickly that when I had to make like small changes like that, it would take a long time because I'd have to actually go into all of the different code, right? And go update it. And it was obnoxious. So this is way better. Definitely showing its use here. Let me make sure I'm not calling it out anywhere else. I don't think so. We'll try this real quick and see if that works. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay, that seemed to work. Now I have a magic button. It doesn't do anything. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, that looks great. All right, cool. All right, next thing I need to do here is essentially I need to start building up some of the code for what magic does. I'm trying to think through this. I'm not going to design my menus necessarily yet, even though I probably need to start here before too long. Let's see. Because obviously my menus are really ugly. But what I want to do is probably start designing my characters first, and then once I get my characters, I imagine a large part of the menu is the face of that character. So let's see. So I have magic now. Let's go ahead and create a script on that. All right. So now I have this script. I'm going to go ahead and real quick take most of this from here, from my attack button. Don't need the on. Let's see. I probably do need on everything from here up, essentially. Let's see. So essentially what I need to do, the reason why I will need a node called magic that I attach to my character. And I'll have to attach, I want to make this very modular, right? Where I can attach different like magic nodes probably down the chain to allow them to actively generate a menu for them to use. Let's see. So get node magic dot attacked target. Okay, so that's going to be a function within that. That's not going to be here. In fact, I haven't defined what that node looks like yet, so I can probably just take this out for now. And I'll just pass. I will need to do this though. So what this does, this code right here attaches my functions, like on attack target right here, dynamically to whatever I call out here. So if I have a node, like on my attack thing, what I have is I have a attack node within my players. So my players, I'm able to just drop this attack node. I'll need one called magic as well. And this right here connects the attacked target function or attack target signal, I apologize, to this function, which allows me to do that dynamically. So it doesn't matter what characters are loaded into the scene, as long as they're in the group characters, which all my characters are, it will link this function to that node, or that signal, which is very helpful. All right, back to magic here. I do need to attach some of these. So let me look at what is attached here. So toggled goes to, okay, that's just the player. Ultimately, I think it just comes from move. Like I need to attach move disabled here. Apologize again, I know you can't see this, but essentially I'm just attaching this node here so you can see it attaches there. And then the other one, let's see. So on advanced priority, I need to go do that one as well. So let me go to my advanced priority node here. Where is that? Priority container. Maybe not. Priority list. There we go. And I'm looking for attack. Okay. So this is actually in the state advanced priority. Yep. So then I would, let's see. UI control, move, attack, and I would also connect to magic here. All right, so now you can see the link. So now this is linked. So what that should do is when I press it, let's see, this is, I'm just gonna comment this out for now. Now this should allow me at least to be able to, when it swaps between, it deactivates itself. Kind of the basic, most basic functionality. Now, one thing to note is I am grabbing focus after I move, which will result in a race between grabbing focus on attack and magic. I probably need to explicitly just grab attack after I move. So I can delete that. So yeah, you can see it ended up at magic that time. Let's see if it does it every time. Yeah, it's going to do it every time. So it takes a little bit less time. But I can just do this. And pass. Do nothing. And that is okay. So essentially, the standard move order would be like you move or attack, and then you move or attack, and do one of those two things. So, but I don't need both. So now I should just go to attack. Yep. And that feels good. Okay. But I have this option in case I need to. I guess really I don't need that signal, but that's okay. I do need this one. So let me check and make sure that it gets disabled really quickly. Just setting up the basics for being able to cast a spell right now. Obviously there's a lot to go here. Okay, so now it's enabled. Essentially, I should be able to move. And then when I wait, it should disable itself. And it does. Perfect. That's great. Okay. Next. So next, now that I have it, I'm going to have to start building kind of a treed thing here. Kind of like priority list, I think. I think that's a pretty good like itemization. What it is, it's a item list is what they call it in Godot. And it allows me to pull in a pretty large number of things. So you can see like on priority list, I'm using it to like capture all of the people and the order that they're in. The nice thing about it is everything's selectable like already, and it can be kind of a varying size and it can scroll. Again, I'm going to try to keep it small, and I absolutely need to build themes for all these things. But yeah, because the nice thing is you can kind of scroll out as many things as you want. This right here is the priority list up to 100 turns of who's going when. I could do something similar for magic. And the nice thing there is too, is once I build the theme, that theme will just apply throughout. This is not what the game will look like with these kind of plain boxes. We'll stylize them and make them look good eventually. But I do need an item box. So I think I would do it under player UI. So let's see. So I have a label here. So player info. I think what I would do here is add an, oh, this is going to get complicated. I really hope I coded this right. This is the importance of coding everything when you're using this like node architecture correctly. Because what I'm about to do is I'm about to move everything down a level. If I coded everything correctly and used signals and everything the correct way, it shouldn't matter. However, if I hard coded anything, which I'm almost positive I did, then I'm going to have to mess with some stuff. Okay, I don't think I want a split container. Let's see what a split container is. Splits two child controls horizontally and provides a grabber. No, definitely not. Just a box. I just want an H box. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So I have my H box now. And now inside that H box, I want to add all of these things. What is this? Is this, I don't actually think this is doing anything. Yeah, I'm not sure why that existed. Did it have code on it? No code. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, we'll delete it. That's one less thing we have to do. Okay, so I'm gonna drop that in here. I'm gonna add a child node, and I'm going to add a item list. So let's see. Something like this, and I'll go ahead and let's see. Within this item list, I can add elements. I will probably do that. For now, I'll just do it here and just add a few. I can add icons too, which is kind of the nice thing. So let's find like just an online. Let's find a fire icon here. Perfect. Actually, let's just do it in PowerPoint because those are just clip arts. We'll change them. We'll have stylized things. I know you can't see my PowerPoint. Apologize. But I'm just grabbing a fire thing here. Okay, so let me save this little fire thing as an image within my game here. Let's see. So the plan here though is I'm just going to add some placeholder stuff here. It's going to absolutely be a placeholder, but we can see what it's going to start looking like, which should be pretty good. So let's see what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and add this into my art folder. I'll have magic art, and we're going to have fire. Oops. Okay. Oh, great. Got to navigate to that again. Let's see. Art, magic, and fire. Okay. So then when I come in here, should load. We go back to that item list. Go back to my elements here. Oops. clear that. Yeah, I really got to figure this out because I made a bunch of changes to how my stream looks, but now you guys can't see when I open up Windows. And Godot absolutely opens up a lot of windows. Okay, so now I have this fire icon. It's selectable. Let me make this item box bigger. Let's see. Needs to make, I don't know, it won't let me edit it because, let's see, I probably want, I don't want to clip contents, container sizing, horizontal, fill. Okay. Nope. Okay, there should be a minimum size on here. Let's see. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, the only reason I went to doing displays instead of, like, or windows instead of displays was to make my layout look a little bit better. It was just fun, something I decided I wanted to do, and it's cool. But yeah, obviously, I broke some things in doing so. Let's see, that's huge. I wonder why the text is so big, and maybe it's just the icon is big, which I didn't expect for some reason. Icon scale, there we go. So yeah, fire. Okay, we'll add another element. We'll call it just ice. Maybe water, because it'll be simple to grab an image for it. So we'll insert icon here. Let's see. And these are all placeholders. They're going to look a lot better, I promise, when we do this. We'll commission or we'll have some created for us or something. Or we'll try to draw. That could be a fun stream. Bob Roth stream. Okay, so water. All right. Let's see. Fire, water. Okay, one thing I want to do is create a V box here. I wasn't originally going to, but I think that's better to do it like this. Like that, and then take a label and put a label at the top that's like magic. Oh, this is gonna be awful. We'll make this look good, I promise. This is gonna look terrible, but it's gonna look good eventually. So we're just gonna call it magic. I'm really surprised. Okay, so VBox, I need this to fill. That's good. Okay. That's good for now. And then we'll see. So ultimately, though, I want, when I click magic, I want it to come out. Right, exactly. Yeah, this is just the sketch. It's the prototype. Okay, I'm going to have to make a couple changes here. Like my player info, I probably need to make larger here. This VBox, I need to, let's see, can I do this? Okay, I can. Way too big. 200 I think's fine, and then yeah, magic pop up to the side of that. I'm gonna mess up. The way I coded this is terrible, so we're probably gonna have to fix that too. One thing I did here is when I coded this, right, this was like one of the first things I made was like a UI to control people. The problem is that I paid no attention to like resizing your screen. So right now you have to play on this tiny little screen. I'm gonna see if I broke anything here. It's very possible that nothing works. It doesn't. So yeah, so I can't resize this screen. If I do, like everything breaks. Real quick, I need to resolve some of these things. I think this one's pretty easy. I think it's just in here. You can see I have like player view box. I absolutely 100% hard-coded stuff. Not what I want to do, but we'll fix that later. Hard coding's okay for now. That might be all I have to do, which really wasn't too bad. I don't think I hard coded anything else. I think everything else is signals and this one. Yeah, that's hard coded, so that's gonna crash. So we'll fix that. These are just the happy little accidents, right? Okay, so let's see. So this needs to be hbox container slash. Man, I gotta think through this because I don't want to keep these forever hard coded. So I have to think through that and see how I want to feel a little smarter. Well, actually, I know how to do that. Those all need to be replaced with signals, which should make that pretty easy. Then the question is, do I do that now or later? I should just do it now. Yep, we're going to do this now. Okay, so I'm just going to replace these with signals. And so I'm going to have var disable, disable. Is that it? Just so disable's true there. Okay. Interesting. I will have to think through that one. Huh. Okay, gonna have to think through that. Maybe I'll hold off on the signal for now. I think it's pretty easy. I think I'll just have to do, like, for this, at least for this part, right? This is pretty easy. I think where it becomes less easy is when I have to do this. I don't think it's hard necessarily, right? I probably need to move this code from in here to do this. So yeah, hard coding, when I'm talking about hard coding, when you see like a literal, so this right here, if I change this structure of my scene, right? So let me do this real quick actually so you can see what I'm talking about. So here, right? If I change the structure of my scene, let me fix this. Okay, if I change this structure, you automatically lose. This code breaks, right? And this was whenever you were coding the other day and you were having the issue where like your code wasn't working, right? And you had that extra word in your file path like this. Same exact thing. I think it's very common, and I think it's probably necessary in a lot of places in Godot. I don't want to do it. I want to keep it out of my code. That way, if I can make changes, I can move my nodes around, because I think that's where you get the power of like object-oriented coding, is by having the ability to make these changes quickly and not have to worry about like going and updating scripts every time you change a file around. Like here, if I moved this down a level or something, I should be able to do that without breaking anything. So that's really it. I don't want my code dependent on this too much. There are going to be cases, and like honestly, I could really quickly actually. Another option for this would be like to say var, and I would say like player label equals, or I'll say node, right? And I would export this. This is another way to prevent this, and probably a better way. So I have this, and then what I could do, let me move this back over. Then what I could do is in my player info here, I have this player label, right? I can hit assign. I know you can't see my screen, unfortunately, but I can assign that to my my player label, player name. So you can see now it's player name, right? And then what I can do is down here, I can just say player label.text. That's the way to do this. So then the cool thing is if I like move player label around, it doesn't break anything. So I can do that freely and not have to worry about that. I should do the same thing with animation player. Anywhere that I have like this little call out here, right? This signifies, hey, at the next level down, do this. I should replace that with something like this. And I probably will, because that's really easy to implement and it's a good coding practice, and it will save me a ton of time later. So gonna go ahead and implement that. You can see when I add export, it adds up here. And then what I can do is just come down here and click my animation player here. And then I can replace all of this with animation player. And now we'll check and make sure everything works still. What I should have done is gotten the code working without that first and then fixed it. But hey, we're living life on the edge a little bit. So let's see. Now, fingers crossed, everything works okay. We'll find out. I do have a little bit of a feeling that it's not going to work okay, just because I changed a lot. But you know, we'll find out here. Hey, look at that. Okay, the only thing that's broken is my animation needs to fix. Very nice. Okay, so that's pretty easy to fix. Ultimately, that's in my animation player. I have these positions. So let me zoom out here. Ultimately, I just, in this position, I guess on my slide, this animation. Is that the right? Let's see. Yeah. So ultimately, I just need to modify this position more. So instead of 0, make it like 100. Or maybe negative 100. So then when I play. Okay, negative 150. Yeah, there we go. Essentially make a variable for most things and export them if you can. Absolutely, yeah. And that's really like when you're talking about like classical coding. That's really the hard coding, is instead of using a variable, you just type in like a literal value. And that's a really bad coding practice too a lot of times, because then yeah, it makes it hard to change values. But a lot of people do it still, right? Because it's a lot easier. I'm sure I have examples of this. It's a lot easier like this, pi over 6. Now, that's a different one, because that's like I'm using pi over 6 because it's like a degree, right? But yeah, what I really should have done is said like, hey, go define like this angle, and go define this angle, and go define this angle, instead of using literals. So, yeah, that would be like if I look up here on my world node. When I originally did all of my like tiles, I had everything hard coded to say like this, right? Like set cell item to 1. And I realized pretty quickly that, oh man, if I go change the order of those, it's gonna be a problem. So instead, I define them up here. And then if these move around, all I have to do is come up here and, you know, change the indices, rather than having to hunt through my code in 100 places and update them. So yeah. All right. Yeah, and the export, the only time to really export them is if you want to modify them here. So export just moves them over here, which lets you modify them quickly, which is nice for things like labels if I want to go see like this, like debugging stuff, that sort of stuff, or if you want to open it up to make quick changes, that's great. But variables you can modify at any point. Oh, interesting in the grass here. I don't have billboard effect on, so they're kind of hiding in the grass, which is kind of funny, but that's okay. All right. So let me see here. Okay, so back to this. So I have that now. Ultimately, I want this to show up when I hit magic. So let me go down to my item list real quick. I'm gonna name this not item list but magic list first off. And I'm gonna check something. Select mode is single for now. Search, which is interesting. I don't think I'm gonna allow search. Text overrun ellipses, that's fine for now. I want to see, like, is there a, I think when I turn it on and off, I can just turn off visibility. I would turn off visibility here. The only problem is it moves. So I need to set this to have an explicit size, which is probably like 100 or like 150, 125. Okay, I'm just going to set an explicit size of like 125. Yeah, no problem. Happy to explain. Honestly, explaining is like my favorite part of the stream, that interaction, talking through it. So I kind of veer more towards that and prioritizing that than making progress a lot of times. Because it's what I enjoy, and I'm here to enjoy things. So let's see. And so I have, we'll call this magic, just so we have the label. Then ultimately I just need code on my magic thing here, right? Let's go back to my script. And so ultimately when I press this button, what I want to happen is when I press it, I want it to send a signal probably to that VBox to become visible, which I think is pretty easy, actually. What I can do is go to this magic and go to my node and toggled, and I can connect toggled to one moment, sorry. Okay, and I connect toggled to, oh man, I know you can't see this window. Let me just add this window. I think I tried doing that once. That's okay. That's okay. We will leave it for now. But I'm just going to connect it to this VBox container. Oh, there's no script on the VBox container yet. Let's add one. I'm just going to add a script on the VBox container. Okay, now we have a script there. And then I'm going to go back to Magic and connect on that script. Toggle. We won't spend much time here anyway. And so on VBox container, essentially when toggled, I'm going to say if toggled on, right? So essentially if this is true, because every time I hit toggle, this is either true or false. If toggled on, visible equals true. True. Else, visible equals false. I think that's all I have to do. And then I could say grab focus. Okay. And then I'm gonna need a signal to pass focus back. Interesting. Actually, what I can do here, if I go into the inspector and I look at my neighbors, my focus, I can assign my right neighbor to be move. I can assign, I think that's all I really have to do. And then, yeah, that's good. Let's see what happens. This should be enough to at least kind of generate a thing. We'll find out. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it's showing, obviously. Okay, it does disappear. I lost it, obviously, here. So I need to set visibility when it first starts to false. And I need to hard code that. Not hard code, but I need to set that width. But kinda. It's close. Okay, let's check here. It also didn't grab focus, which I think is okay for now. All right, so on ready, this is where I'll go visible equals false. So by default, visible is false there. I do want back here. So let me go back to just turn it off. Let me go here. Let's see, container sizing is there. Let's see. Fill. I want, let's see, left or right? Do I need to change the layout? Nope. I'm really surprised that, there's gotta be a thing here saying, hey, like, don't shrink. Maybe it's in my HBox container. Container sizing. Shrink end. Now what if I turn this on? Okay. That's decent. Not the best, because it moves around, which I don't like. What if I shrink? Shrinking center, I think, would be bad. Oops. Yeah, that's bad. I do think shrink in would be right. I'm just not sure why it moves around so much. Let's see if it does that in game. It might just be how the editor has it. You know why that's not going to work? It's not going to work because the parent... Well, actually, it looks pretty decent. Yeah, I'm not sure why it moves. Also, it's not grabbing focus, which I want it to do. But yeah, okay, let's try this again. So, not shrink end. Fill is probably okay. I think I want set columns in my HBox container. And the question is that possible? Don't do that. Oh, actually, what I maybe can do is set this to like 325 and then shrink end. Interesting. Okay. Well, not quite. Let's see. So go back to VBox container. I guess because it's not visible, it thinks it's not. I just need the alignment to be on the right, I guess. And okay, that's all I need to do. And so now when I show it, okay, I'm stretching the box. So I need this to be like 335. There we go. Pretty good. And now on the script, I would go grab, so I should grab focus here, but obviously I'm grabbing focus back on move. I wonder if I have something that's taken and grabbing focus often. I'm not really. Oh, you know what? I think the problem is it's grabbing focus on the box and not on the button. Okay. That's good. What I need is add a script to this, to magic list. So now I have this. I'll go back to magic. And what I'm going to do is on here, on toggled, connect that to my actual list itself, which is good. And I'm going to say if toggled on, then first I'm going to wait. And the waits here, I don't like them. But what they do for me is they are allowing me to wait till the next frame to grab focus so that I'm not grabbing focus on multiple things. I don't know if there's a better way to do that. There probably is. I've got it on my to-do list to find out if there's a better way to do that than to just wait like a 1/10 of a second. But, you know, you can even wait 1/100th of a second. It doesn't actually matter. It's fine. The only I think this one actually may need to wait a 1/10 of a second because I'm waiting for another action to occur, which again is not a good condition to be in. But you know, there's a lot of stuff that will clean up as we go along. For now, the goal is to get a prototype out, get a demo out, and so we'll do what works. Okay, so this should when I hit magic grab focus over there, and it does. Look at that. I can't get back. I need to set that, but I can activate magic. And then what I want is essentially, maybe I don't want to be able to go back. I want when I hit cancel while I'm in that screen for it to go back over here. Okay. Slowly building up here. This one's pretty easy. Basically, I need this. Let's see. Let's check here. While I'm doing nothing, Let's see. I think what I can do is just within active player, I already have code for cancel, I think. Let's check. Input, cancel, and I'm doing nothing. So this is good. What I should do when I hit cancel. Okay, I do want to go back there. I gotta think this one through. Okay. So for now, this is gonna work fine. What I'm gonna do is just have it set. Ultimately, I want to, the reason this is like this is because I want it to, when you hit cancel while you're like just sitting on your player, you to be able to kind of navigate the map freely. Right now you can't, which is a problem. I want to be able to do that. However, I want, while that magic thing is active, if you hit cancel, I want it to just go back to your screen. So maybe I can have like a cancel button that just takes you back to the menu, and then a different button to have like free roam. I think that's how like games like Final Fantasy Tactics do it. I don't think you can just hit cancel and go navigate the window. I think you have to hit triangle, which would be okay, I guess. I'll do whatever's most intuitive, no matter how hard it is to code, because it won't be that hard. But I think what I need to hear is a new signal. We'll have a signal, and we'll have cancel. Most of my inputs I'm trying to do within my states. So that's what this is a state. Here, you know what? I kind of want to move this over here so you can see it. Yeah, so most of my signals are in my states over here. Actually, the only problem with this is like, in order to now look at my signals, I've got to kind of go back and forth, which I guess isn't absolutely terrible. So I would just like pick one and then I could go to node. It's not too bad. I'll think about it. For now, this is fine. Okay, so let's see. So ultimately, let me go to my active player state, and I have this new cancel signal. See, that's the problem. Okay, so then I will have cancel, and when I hit cancel while I'm an active player, I would send a signal to this. And I think what I want to do is, oh, okay, so it would be at the player info. Okay. Essentially what I want to do here is clear the UI, which I think when I hit clear UI, it sets press to false on everywhere. So I could clear UI, and then I want to grab focus on my move button, I think. Let's see here. Let me go to my attack real quick. Because I think I have code right now that says, hey, if you're trying to grab focus on move and attack is disabled, do this. So let me see how this works. So it's on a move. Oh, it's only on advanced priority start, but I could do the same thing. So essentially from player info, I would send a signal to here that would say, hey, cancel doing what you're doing. And maybe I'd have another signal from here to actually do the button press here. So I'm going to clear. That's going to turn off all the button presses. And then I need to grab focus. And so I think here I can have another signal that is signal. And this can be, we'll just call it like grab move, focus. We'll say grab move. That's fine. All right. And then so then what we'll do is we'll grab move.emit. Okay. And then so let me go to here and my node, grab move, connect that to my movement button. And let's see. Ultimately, I might be able to just, let's see here. I might just be able to attach it to this instead. That looks good. So on active player selected. Okay. And then if it's disabled, it's going to go ahead and emit that, and it's going to grab the attack function, which is nice. So yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like a good place to do it. Okay, and then active player. Let me go up to that one. So active player. So let's see, when do I use here? So then I would have, what do I have? Just cancel. Cancel.emit. Okay, so then when I hit cancel here, what should happen is it should send that to this other node, right? That should come here. It's going to clear the UI, which is going to set everything to not pressed. It's going to try to grab move. If it fails to grab move, that's going to go ahead and grab attack. So I think that would actually work pretty well. Let's check it out. I have high hopes. High hopes here. Let's see what we got. Okay, so magic. That looks good. Cancel. Yeah. Magic. That looks good. Cancel. And the cool thing is I can hit cancel, right? At any point, it goes back to move, which is honestly kind of nice. So I kind of like that. Okay, then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to move first. And then I'm going to go down to magic. And then I'm going to hit cancel. And it goes to attack. Perfect. Look at that. Professional coder. That was pretty clean. Okay. So I feel pretty good about that. Yeah. All right. Honestly, not too bad. We got the menu for Magic kind of implemented. Obviously, none of these buttons do anything yet. I think that'll be pretty easy. So my plan is I will start creating resources for all the different spells I want to have. And I mentioned earlier in the stream, but kind of the idea is that you'd pick an element, and then wherever you want to put it on the priority list, you can maybe have like a more powerful version of that element. You might have multiple people who can use two different elements on the same priority and have them mix. So that's going to be the kind of magic system I'm potentially working on. It should make the menu super simple, which I like. I like super simple menus. So it should make the menu super simple, but at the same time not allow a lot of customization, because I also really like a lot of customization. One thing I need to do first before is I need to set back here I need to remove this back to nothing, because I don't want you to be able to get back to that other menu now without this. So I probably do need to assign like the left, top, right, and bottom neighbor to itself. I have to think about that. Magic, because right now I can kind of disappear here. It goes back, but yeah, it's a problem. No, I can't get back. Okay, so ultimately I just need to set the focus here. Let's check real quick. So assign, let's see. Ultimately I just need to assign all of the neighbors to itself, right? I think that does it, because it's a list, and as long as we stay within the list, we're good. So I think I just need to basically tell it, hey, don't ever leave the list. We'll see what happens. All right, let's check. Okay. Cool. That worked really well. And then we can leave by hitting the cancel button. Okay, ultimately that works pretty well. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So now what we're going to do is, interesting light issues on the grass. Weird. Okay. Well, we'll figure out what's going on there. Let me add that to my bug list over here. grass lighting changes drastically with camera angle. Probably something super simple in my shader for grass. That's potentially that I'm using the viewport or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm probably not gonna try to solve it right now. But that is interesting. Okay, so, and I'm guessing when the sun's out, it doesn't do it. Yeah, so it only does it when just the moon's out, and it's gonna have to do with lighting sources. So anyway, that's okay. Yeah, that works pretty well, I think. So next time what I think we'll do is probably code where I can actually select these and cast spells and put them in where I want to within the priority list. So like you click this, it would pop open the priority list that you see here, and then I could say like where I want to do it. And it would, if you know the spell, the idea is that if you know the spell, it'll tell you like what you're going to cast. So like right here might be fire, and then like you get down, it might be fire 2. You get down, it might be fire 3, right? And so on. And then of course like combining magic. I may have a mechanism where one person can combine magic too if they know it, right? Like maybe have fire, water, whatever, and then combine button, and then combine, you could combine them to do different things. I think that'll help keep the menu really clean and also kind of give like really cool customization to the magic and allow you to, as you kind of learn different abilities and spells and stuff, it would feel like, you know, like almost like a secret, like, hey, I learned this, right? And you would also learn it as the player learns it. So I'm excited about that. I think it's a cool mechanic. You know, appreciate any input though if you guys think differently. I think that's what I'm going to do for coding today, and I don't have OBS set up to be able to do, well, actually, you know what? It's probably not bad. I will probably go into Ableton here for a little bit. Not long though. I'm thinking like 10 or 15 minutes at most in Ableton here. Thanks, appreciate it, Journey. So let me take a quick break to get you set up here, and then I'll be right back. The follow on here is gonna be a pretty short stream. We're just gonna mess around in Ableton for a little bit and see. I think I'm gonna try some strings and some other things. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. All right, I'm back. Yeah, appreciate it, Journey. That's kind of my goal too, right? I really want all of my game mechanics to reflect what I'm doing in game. And I realized my 3D printer ran out of filament, and my 3D printer and my MIDI controller used the same inputs. So one second, let me just do something wrong. I'm going to jump over to this other project. Give me 1 second. Ultimately, what that means is I need to... 1 second, you're going to lose me for a second. I guess you don't have to. I'll just turn you there. Ultimately, I'm just going to sound bad for a second. Yeah, what it means is I probably won't have my MIDI controller, but that's okay. We can still do some music without a MIDI controller. All right. Okay, now you're back to my mic. Okay, so let me real quick set up a scene. Let's see. Here, you can watch me do this. Struggle through this live. Oh my goodness, that looks so terrible. I do like. Okay, let me go back to this for a second. Let me just clone this, duplicate, and then let me replace on my clone. Let me hide all this stuff. I do like the new look quite a bit. I think that works pretty well. And then I'll just do to keep it simple, I'll just do a display capture. Okay. And then make it smaller here. Getting to see some of the behind the scenes here. Let me real quick apply a quick filter here just to crop out the top and the bottom. Let's see. So the top, probably like 100 pixels. And then the bottom, like 100 pixels. Maybe 75 pixels. Maybe 75 up top as well. Perfect. Okay. And then that looks pretty decent, I think. I'll have to play around and set some stuff up here too. But for now, for like a 10-minute stream, that's probably fine. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty awful. But hey, it's fine. Ultimately, what I probably can do is do this. And, well, it's fine. A little bit of perfectionist, but it's fine. Okay, so we'll just do that. That looks pretty terrible. I don't like that at all. Doesn't matter. I will play with it next time we stream. We'll have a nice Ableton setup that you can see better. I just don't want to put everything behind the... Oh, you know what? Just messed up the aspect ratio. That's probably a little better for Ableton. Okay. Hey, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not too bad. Okay, so let's see. So one thing I wanted to do here, let's go back here. I feel like we broke something. Ah, you know what? We didn't... I must not have saved some of this. It's okay. I mean, not a huge deal. I just got to set this to 16. That's the big thing. I can't believe I did that. Wow. Interesting that I didn't save. I'm a compulsive saver. My workflow is like every 5 seconds, I hit Control S. Not this time, apparently. I'm not sure what that's about. That's really interesting. That's okay. Very, very interesting. Okay, so this is going back to 4. No, it's okay. You didn't have to remind me. I don't know how I forgot. Like I said, I'm a compulsive saver. Like when I'm working on something, just like every couple seconds I hit Control S. So you'll see my little thing go into this mode. I guess it was late and I was messing with stuff, but it's fine. I think we're pretty much back already. One thing we did though is mess with some of these settings. Let's do that again. I turned the attack down here. You know what I can do too is just go back to that stream and look at nice thing about streams is I can go look and see what I did. I think I had this. Let's see. I had the reverb cranked. Something like that. Something like that. pop this other headphone in. There I am. Okay, I think we're pretty much back to what we were, and that sounds pretty decent. I do like that. Oh, sorry. Oh my goodness. That's part of why I went to... Yeah, exactly. I do like this. I mean, this sounds pretty decent, though. I probably would shorten this front, I think. I think one thing I was going to do right now, I do like this flute. I'm kind of thinking of swapping it out for a, like a string of some kind. So I want to mess with that. Like I said, I'm not going to do this long today, but that's one of the things I wanted to look at. Let's see here. That's not bad. Okay, so like if I drop this on here, let's see what that sounds like here. That's pretty good. And I feel like this could really build up pretty quickly, which is nice when I want to do something like this. Let's see. So this, I think I want to shorten this break to like a single measure. And then what I can do is I think I want to go to like just this part. Not sure which octave's better. I do like the higher octave better, I think. This is the time overlap between notes. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, definitely. And I think what I'm gonna do here is use that as like a callback here. So I think what that would sound like, something like this. So let me go back to here. So it basically repeat that. I don't know if it'll be exactly this melody or not, but for now, that's what I'll do it. So then I'll go back and kind of repeat that. And actually, I might be able to do something like this. So kind of like that line. Maybe build some intensity right before it comes back in. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I probably could do something there. Let's see what this sounds like. So what if I fade it in here? Something like this. Let's see. All right, so I'm coming. Kind of thinking like right here even, not like that. It's just a lot. Okay, maybe not. Let's listen back to like this. I want to do something there. I think strings are probably the right thing. Maybe just a different... What I'm thinking is maybe a softer string. Like this string is very kind of in your face. Maybe pull it back to like some of the drive, maybe make it a little softer. And I might start the whole thing with like some strings. Maybe some strings to start out with, just like some ambient boom, 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 boom. And then come in with the piano and just have the strings kind of doing things all throughout it, but kind of really pick it up right here. And then maybe get multiple strings in there doing some harmony and melody parts. Kind of like a dueling violin. And I think that could be really cool. Okay, so let me mess with this tone a little bit. Let me try some different strings. Appreciate that. Don't really hear a lot of changes from that. That's going to be the cutoff of what frequencies. So I don't think I really want to cut off a lot of that. If anything, actually. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see. Jump up here and kind of see what that sounds like. And maybe it's just the wrong part. Again, this is where I wish I had a MIDI controller plugged in, which I could easily go grab. One moment. All right. I had to go dig out another cord here. Let's see how fast this connects. Okay, but I think it's worth it. Let's see. Or it's a tiny, tiny cord too. That's all right. All right. So ultimately, then I'm gonna move everything over. Just like, yeah, that. So two measures is good. And then I don't know if cruiser strings is the right thing. So essentially, what I could do here is, let me drop an octave on here. I think we do something like this. Okay, now. That sounds so bad. Okay, I'm thinking some light strings though. Maybe not these kind of strings. Let me go back up here and see if we can select a better string. Let's see. I wonder if there's, so this is on the instrument rack. I could go get a better string here. There's a cutoff note, it sounded like. Let's see. It's trying. I think it's close, but I want it to actually sound like, this all sounds like a pad, right? I want it to actually sound like the string a little bit. So I'm using up there. Synthetic strings may be my best bet. I don't necessarily like them a lot. They're not bad. So let's see, if I was just going to do something really simple, and we did at the beginning, we just hit, let me turn on a metronome real quick. Maybe I need something like that. So let's see, that would be 4 measures. I don't necessarily like, I don't necessarily like this string, so we'll have to play with that a little bit. But if I did something like, oops. And I think I would do something like a, oh, I'm off by one. What happened there? Oh, I'm starting on 4 instead of starting on 5. That makes sense. Okay. So I want to start here. Let's see. No, I think I like starting with the piano. Yeah, I think the piano by far sounds like the best intro. Let's see here. Let's go redo all that. I think I locked it up momentarily. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so ultimately though, let's just delete this, move everything back. Oh, great. There is something preventing me from doing so. Okay. No, I do really like the piano intro. I think that's going to be hard to beat. Right? Like, that just sounds pretty good. But maybe what I could do is fade in here. Definitely like just popping in right there. Could probably use a little more complicated piano there maybe, and like walk through some other chord progression before I go into like this big thing. I think this is like, when I'm thinking of like moods, right? This right here is like, you're at the core of the song, right? And you're kind of like walking through, oops. You're walking through like the heart of it. This is like what you're trying to get to, so. I think it needs a little bit more story before it gets there. So I do like this. I think like all of this should come in a little bit later. The piano actually might be able to start there. Oops. Let's see. I need to find a better, like less aggressive string is what I need to find. That can kind of tell a story. Like, don't get me wrong, this sounds pretty good. But like if I can have some sort of synth or something right here kind of walking through a story before it gets all big, and then it kind of builds up. Like a... Or... Maybe even here. And it walks into that big thing, right? Maybe even like a... Yeah, something like that could be good. So yeah, something like that. But I need some instrument that's a lot less harsh. Let me put on a loop real quick and just kind of loop through this. Okay. Like that's just so harsh, right? Yeah, I really think it... Okay, so maybe strings isn't the way to go. Maybe there's some good synth leads in here. Let's try to mess with some of this. So let's see what that sounds like. Not quite what I'm looking for. I could go back to the whistle. Let's see. So we go something like this. Something like that may be kind of cool. All right, I think I'm starting to hear it. Okay, let's see. So if I was going to play from the beginning, right? I probably wouldn't play anything through like the first loop here. I do think the whistle works pretty well for this. So let this come in. I'll probably let the second piano come in. I could probably start there. Maybe. What I'm picturing here is like what I'm imagining, like the opening intro scene, right? So then maybe a little bit more here, a little more story. Something like that. And then on that last part, I think is where we would go right into something like this. I don't think this is perfect right here. But I think this will at least get the feeling that I'm thinking here. So let's see. So here, we're going to... Something like that. I think that's getting close. Like, let me re-record that walk-up, I think. Honestly, the walk-up wasn't too bad for a first shot. First shot improv. I think this first note needs to be higher than the walk-up. That's probably part of it. So I think it needs to be here. Let's see. And then we could do something like this. Okay, so then that walk-up sounds like... Okay, now let me re-record that walk-up here. All right, we're going to try this. It's going to sound like... What note am I going into here? I'm going into the G. Yeah, that should work well. Let's see what this sounds like. 1, 2, 3. Not perfect. Let's try it one more time. Okay, actually, you know what we can do here? We can use the loop. So Ableton has this pretty cool feature. I might have to turn it on. What is this called? Add. Do I add that? No. Yeah, so kind of a build up there. I'm trying to remember here. Ableton does have a feature where it's... Maybe I just record. Let me just try it. If I just record here. Okay. No, it's not doing it. So let me see if I remember how to do this. There's a feature that essentially lets you take takes. And I'm just going to Google how to do it. So takes in Ableton. Comping is what it's called. So there's a comping button. All right, let's see. I can system multiple parallel lanes. How do I turn on comping? Right click. Okay. Take lane entry. I might have to look up how to do this again. I thought it was pretty easy. I thought it's just like, hey, turn on comping. Maybe it's here? Nope. Maybe I'll have to figure it out later. That does help a lot, though, because essentially I can just record it over and over and over and over again and then take the best one. But I don't remember off the top of my head how to do it, which is really unfortunate. I really thought there was like comp. Let's see. Should be super easy. Let's check here. I think all I have to do is I am Ableton 11. Yeah, standard. Huh. Maybe I'll have to figure out how to do it offline. Which is really unfortunate because I've done this like a million times. I just haven't done it in a little while. But I really thought there was like a pretty easy comp button. Let's see if I have multiple channels selected here. Nope. Okay. That is okay. We're going to deal with it for now. Okay, let's try it one more time. 2. That was pretty good. That was pretty much perfect. Okay. So then what I can do is do this. And then what this sounds like then is, so it's kind of like if you're watching the game, right? Really simple. Oh man. I didn't realize you were okay. Let's see. I think that works pretty well. It's like, it's not perfect, obviously, but I think the idea works pretty well, actually. I think that works a lot better than any kind of fade in like this. Maybe pull this down a little bit. So let's see. I think I want to simplify leading up to that, though. So maybe just a little less. Not perfect, but whatever. Okay. That would go into that. So then what I can do here is adjust. Again, just trying to get the feel down here, and then I'll go back and clean stuff up. And I'm going to make this instrument a little bit more. Let me check this. I want this instrument to sound a little bit. Okay, so let me end this here. This needs to end down here. Oops. I guess I could just edit it. Ultimately, I just need to bring it down just a little bit here. I mean, it's going to be faster just to record it. Let's see here. Okay. And let me add a MIDI here. I think this I could also bring in. Oh man, it's getting late. I could also bring a string in at the same time, potentially. And so then if we did like this. Let's drive this. Let's take my time down. Okay, so let me. Yeah, something like that. All right, take this back up an octave. So it's similar to like what the piano's doing, how it's kind of providing the bass thing. I think I could go a little slower on this here and do something similar. What note, what chords am I on there? I'm on the 6, okay. So here's the 6. So I think I could just do something simple from the 6, working my way up back to the 4. And C has kind of got that harmony. And so if I do something like that, I would pull this probably up and this down a little bit, but I think something like that could work. Do better harmonies, but yeah, I could do something like that. I like how that's sounding, and then I can have these two things play off each other pretty well. This be doing kind of the slower notes, mimicking kind of how the piano is doing kind of those walk-ups and things. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I do like how that sounds. So, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna hit play here. I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and call it a stream. Start working on start working on closing this out. Get some sleep tonight, and we'll come back to this. So I think I like the direction this is going here. Next time, what we'll do is let's see. Next time, what we'll do is I'll go ahead and start working more on the magic system more, and we'll come back to. We'll come back to this song. Let me find someone to raid real quick. Thanks for hanging out. Always a pleasure talking to you, Journey, and hanging out with you. Let's see if we can find someone here on Twitch side to raid. Let's see what we got. All right. MZ Live looks good. Let me check here. All right. Say hi. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they look similar size. So, all right. Well, thanks, everybody. It's been a good time. We'll talk real soon. Hopefully, be back on here before too long. I probably won't stream tomorrow. Maybe we'll see. Tomorrow or Wednesday, most likely. Maybe both. All right. Have a good night.